Oh,
What's up, people?
I was still jamming.
Yeah, I want to keep it longer, but I ain't trying to have you two say
Right.
nope. Here we are, season 1, episode 2. The name of the episode is Seeds, and I can see why, because a lot of seeds was planted this episode.
Yes.
Now, a little bit of a recap from the pilot. We had the Mayans burning down the Sun's Sam Crow's warehouse, so took the M4s and the Glocks. They ended up stealing them back and burning down their stuff and killing some of these people.
And don't forget about the 2 dead people at the warehouse. Yeah. The dead lady.
It was Darby's people. So now they've got these 2 dead bodies in their warehouse that was dead, who are part of the assembly. Now they got to figure out what to do with them. So, like you said earlier, Jackson's hoeing to a hoe. We got Tara and Gemma going about toe-to-toe, about ready to get it going up in the hospital.
Well, at least they in the right place to take care of them after the fact.
And Tig, we find out a little bit more about him and these burnt bodies. We are introduced to the chief, deputy chief, Hale. So let's get into it, because we got a lot to talk about. Okay?
Child, they was busy this episode.
Now, rewatching it this time around, I didn't realize how much Gemma had an influence and how dirty she was right from the get-go. Monique King, you still
get out. Just get out.
Motherfucking you. Hey, Melissa. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, everybody. Make sure y'all hit the like button.
Make sure y'all do and subscribe to both channels if you haven't. Lady V is in the building. Man, well, y'all know the more you watch it, the more you catch, the more y'all can get into the groove with us. So watch as many times as you want and bring your ass here and talk about it with us, okay? So, we've got Gemma, and this is what I mean about Gemma. The first thing she want to do is ask Clay if Jack said anything to him about JT's journal. Now, she is real into finding out this journal situation, because she knows that if Jackson's to get a hold of this journal, it is not going to be what she wanted to be. And we know what that is. We all know she wants him to lead in the right father's footsteps, which is good. Okay. But that ain't what's been happening, because Jax has been reading this journal. And he sees, and he's having a whole new mindset now. Yeah. And that is exactly what Gemma didn't want.
Well, but see, I don't really think the way that they're thinking of it's like, oh, this is the way we've done things, barbarians, let's beat on our chest and whatnot. Just like in this episode when he was saying, like, what if we can do X, Y, and Z and we don't have to, kill anybody. Shed any blood, in the process. Why are we gonna create another mess, more jail time? You know what I'm saying? We got to go kill somebody so we can move people that was already killed. Like, you got to work smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying? And if the deed is already done, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure the fine is less for moving or exhuming a body than it is for you to actually go out and kill somebody and leave some evidence somewhere.
Exactly. And even from last episode, you can see that Jackson ain't killed a lot of people before. You see how hesitant he was to pull the trigger at the man's warehouse to that dude. So he ain't even really cut that cloth quite yet. You can tell that it just seems, however what was going on before the pilot, it wasn't going on like this. It wasn't that much killing and bloodshed and all of that stuff. But now
they probably was just beating people up. That used to be that they was probably just beating people up, and that was sufficient. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But okay, so you got the, what is it? The Nordics. You've got the Mayans, the one, what is it, the one Niners or whatever.
One-liners, Mayans, yup. And then
Okay,
we
so now it
that
used to be,
another.
if there
Mm-hmm.
were some unruly boys in town, you know what I'm saying? You meet them at the pool hall, rough them up a little bit, they get some act right. You know what I'm saying? But now you got all of these other different variables where people can go run and get help, or they already come with an army. So now it's kill or be killed.
Exactly. And now it's just starting to get ruthless. It's too much. When you bring in the guns, that's a whole new ball game. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing that the club had to decide on if that's what they wanted to do. Just like later down the line, they had to decide about the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole nother aspect that gets into it. But it's just like at this point, Jax isn't really trying to do that. And the fact that he's reading JT's journal and see that this isn't the life that JT wanted for him.
Right.
And so I think he's trying to take into consideration of that. Meanwhile, yeah, Clay is his stepdad and he is the president of Sam Crow right now, which he is a part of, the vice president, but still, he's starting to see that there was a different way. And maybe that way is better. JT's way was better.
Yeah, but
But Clay ain't
JT's
gonna let
way
that happen.
probably wouldn't have worked for the mindset that Clay is in, for the type of money that he's trying to get. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, you know how you see, like in the hood or whatever, it's like, oh, I want to get money so I can get bitches, and fancy cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you can see from Emily Duncan, they ready to drop their draws anywhere, anytime, whether you got a dollar or not, because of who you are, and leave your jacket on. You know what I'm saying? So you having to do it for the money. It's not to get the women. And you can see, like, I'm pretty sure their bikes are expensive. They not showing them like all tricked out like his daddy's bike is, that sits in the club.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure they put a lot of money into, Jim always driving a nice car. So, but at the same time, it's like, what are you doing with all this money if you're not spending it? You're not enjoying it. So you risking your life and you can't even enjoy the money, because every time you turn around, they in some shit.
Yeah, because I feel if whatever that is doing with money, I feel like life is probably being saved up for the kids, for the next generation, because it takes money to, keep the club going and everything. That's why they have, the treasury, Bobby is the treasurer. He takes care of the money aspect of it all. So money does have to go into it. I mean, you have to keep the club up. You have to, keep money going because you got to pay off people. You got the whole entire
Right, but they're also clean. I bet you any.
payroll.
Aren't they cleaning the money though through
Not
there?
yet. They're about to start, but they haven't started because
Oh,
it just got really dirty. It just started getting really dirty with the guns. So at this point, now they're starting to, and that's why they, have the motorcycle club, the Telemero auto body shop, because that's how
right,
they keep the money clean so far, with that body shop going like that. So that's how they're cleaning the money at this point, because they ain't making a lot of money for them to need anything else. So that's
right.
why. But now as Clay trying to get more money and everything, that's where they about to start doing other things to keep the money clean and going on. So let's talk about this crow eater, this Barbie bitch, Emily, that we were just talking about. So this broad here, so they go and they are looking to cremate the bodies that were dead, that burned in their warehouse. So they go to the what's the name embalmer, and they ask him, what's the cut? How can we pay you to get these bodies burned and everything?
No,
And
they went. No, no, they meant no, no. They went to him to clean up. They needed to get 2 bodies from him, a white one and a Mexican, so that they could they could stage a murder to get old boy over there so they could get the bodies out. Now, I'm pretty sure he burnt the bodies.
At the end, though, they did end up burning the bodies in there.
But that's why they went there first.
Yeah, so they go there to get them to get the bodies in the first place, right? So homeboy, like, look, I don't gamble no more. I don't do that no more. Like, I'm trying to be clean up in here. I'm going to be clean. But he wanted him some. He wanted him some from Miss Emily Dustin. And so at first, Jackson didn't even really know who he is, but Chibs was like, you know, the Friday night freak that come in every Friday.
I would not want to be like, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing, like, you know, however long ago high school was. Now, Skeeter. Yeah, Skeeter. Look, now, if high school was 5 years ago, she didn't have a rough time. If high school was 10 or 15 years ago, she still looked good. However, I would not want to be a bottom feeder. Okay? It's like, girlfriend, you is too cute. Because she is very pretty, at least my opinion. I'm like, girlfriend, you is too cute to be throwing yourself out there like that. But I guess, you know, somebody got to do it.
Care. But as fine as Jax is,
but
I would throw myself. I
would throw myself at Jax too on a regular day, but not for Skeeter. But you can tell the type of female that she is, because like she was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the favor for the club. You see how he kept saying for the club, not for me, for the club. And then you could see her mind was wandering like, shit, I might as well get something.
On that door.
She's like, and she like thinking, shoot, I need to get something out of this too. You know what I'm saying? So she like, well, all right, you do me and I'll do him. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if she didn't have the reputation of being so easy, it would have took a lot more coercion. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, true, but she could have been taking one for the team. Was like, I'll she said, I'll do him if you do me. You trying to get a piece of Jax, you might do something strange for a little piece of change.
I ain't never gonna do nothing that strange. Look, I donate a kidney before I sleep with Skeeter now.
But she obviously wanted Jackson. If you've been a regular crow eater coming to the club, if y'all don't know the lingo, a crow eater is a girl that hangs around the club hoping to be chosen and potentially become an old lady, meaning being the monogamous relationship with one of the members of Sam Crow.
But if you get chose by somebody one night and somebody another night and somebody next week and the next week, you might end up being a crow feeder for life.
Well, that's the thing. One thing for sure, they don't like a girl that's been passed around in the club. So you better find one and one only. And if that don't work out, that's your problem. So so she ends up doing the deed. And he ends up doing it with her, and that's when she was like, do me a favor. Keep the cut on. And he was like, I'm all about the service, baby. And he gave her some service with the cut on.
Yeah, I can just imagine that. His customer service is excellent.
Oh, yes. You know. I will definitely give a survey and A+, 5 stars across the board. And I'm
writing a review on Google.
I'm leaving a whole paragraph. And I'm referring shit. Okay. I'm going on Yelp. I'm going on the website. I'm
going on TripAdvisor because I was in a whole nother world, honey.
Girl, that's what I'm saying. So about the 2 bodies, though, we find out a little bit more about the 2 bodies that were burned in Sam Crow's warehouse. Freaking Tig.
Nasty self.
So he admits to Clay that he was doing Both of them bodies that was burned in the club. In the club. So here we got two bodies that's probably, and Clay's like, please don't tell me they're one of them ain't got a belly full of tig juice.
Girl, I almost fell off on the floor.
I'm like, you nasty mug. Both of them got tig juice in them. And so that's when Clay got really pissed. He was like, you are an offender. You done been to jail. Your DNA is in the system. All they got to do is run this shit, and then it's back to Sam Crow. Simple as that. But Tig now we told y'all, Tig is the most violent member of the group. So he says he will gut them up and flush their bellies out with bleach.
And he was so serious.
Just think of that. Just the visual of that. They burned dead already. So you about to take two dead bodies, gut them, and bleach their bodies out?
Girl, let me tell you something. You could have just kept your D in your pants and we wouldn't be having this conversation with your little hot self.
But we talking about Tig, and we know
I know he's just hot like fire. He is hot like fire. I know they reserved the word in heat for, like female cats and dogs and stuff. But he is in heat 24/7. He is in heat.
Yes, we gotta love him. He's very, very weird. He's very weird. But
he's funny though. I do like the fact. I like the fact that he's funny.
I like the fact that he's funny. But I started not liking him because of what happens very soon. And if you've watched the show before, y'all know what that is. So I didn't like that. So, but in his defense, he thought he knew better. But he didn't. And that's the whole case. But that's Stahl's fault. We haven't got introduced to Stahl's stinking self yet. We'll get there soon. So anyway. So then what happened? Oh, so now we meet the deputy chief, Hale. We finally meet Hale. Now
he's so annoying.
Charming, and he is not on Sam Crow's payroll, and we find that out very soon.
Right. And he ain't trying to apply part-time, full-time, nothing.
Nope, he ain't volunteering, none of that.
None of that.
And plus he is trying, so we all see that he is trying or waiting to become the chief. He wants Unser's spot, who we also meet this episode, who is very much the number one on Sam Crow's payroll. So Hale comes through and he finds the bodies. He saw the dead bodies. He knew them two dead burnt bodies was there. But then he goes back and they were gone. So he's like, where are the bodies at? What's going on? He knows that Unser is on their payroll. And so you could already tell he got an issue. So he goes to them. He's like, where's the bodies? What's going on? I'm going to be chief soon. And I ain't turning the other cheek like Unser. So y'all better watch yourself. Hale ain't here to play. And I was like, Hale about to be their number one enemy this season. That's how he portrayed himself when he came popping up into the scene.
He actually acting like he trying to sign his death certificate. Because first of all, you ain't chief yet. You deputy chief. You talking cash shit, and you ain't got no help to really back you up. And you already know, just like everybody in the town know, that Unser is on the payroll. So who gonna help you? You know what I'm saying? So you might want to pipe down a little bit. They was definitely having a pissing match, but you might want to pipe down a little bit until you get your backup.
Well, he think his backup is the fact that his dad, and his dad is in with a lot of political people in Northern California. And so he feels that he's got that one up. Plus the fact that Unser mentions it when he has that talk with Clay, he's basically feel like he's had one foot out the door ever since last year when he disclosed to the department that he had cancer. And I'm just now realizing Unser had cancer the whole entire series of this show.
Yep.
The whole entire time he had cancer. So that's why he feels, so that's why Hale feels so entitled. He feel like he already damn near got the job. And that's why he walking around charming with himself all out there with, all swole up in the chest, because he feel he about to start running this soon. And plus, like Unser has said, in 6 months, he's retiring. He had planned on doing that until Clay asked. And this is where Clay gets on my nerve. I didn't realize Clay was this gutter from the get-go until I had to start paying attention. But the way he did Unser, when they took that dude in that truck because they were supposed to have that run, that protection run for Unser. They took the dude, took his truck, sent them to Jimmy and them, whoever they was. I can't remember exactly who they were. But when he came back and told Unser about it, the way he handled Unser was bullshit, because he told him, look, how about Unser said, what are you doing, Clay? He's like, oh, I'm just trying to keep a cop on the job. Like, you making this man stay chief when he is trying to retire with his cancer, but you want him to stay on so you can corrupt Charming a little bit more. And go tell him keep Hale off his back, and so he can rebuild. And Unser said, like, that's how you treat an old friend? He was like, no, that's how I treat an old cop. So from the beginning, he ain't never had no respect for him.
No. It's just, when you look at it, it's like first you were looking at it and you would pick up certain things and you rewatch it and you pick up more and you add it on to what you saw before. And he trash. He just hot garbage. He trash.
He is so trash. And I felt so bad for him when he did that. So what else happened? So, this was funny. So when this is kind of how you see how derogatory that this show is with the dark humor. It was a very dark humor joke when Hale went to go see Jackson Clay after he had saw Unser, and Unser told him, look, I ain't stepping down yet, after he got threatened by Clay. So Hale finds out, he was like, I'm not stepping down yet. And so he's like, bullshit, why not? And Unser was just like, look, because I want to. I already had let the higher ups know. So basically, don't get your panties into a bunch. You ain't about to be chief yet. So Hale mad. He storms off mad. And he goes to the Taylor Merrill shop, and he goes and see Clay and Jackson. He asks them, he says, so Unser said he's not stepping down. What'd you do? Threaten to hurt his daughter? I'm like, really? Like, damn, that's that. And that was considered supposed to be funny. And I found myself laughing. And I'm like, am I just as sick and sadistic as Kurt Sutter? Because I thought that shit was funny a little bit. And the way that Clay and Jax both looked back at it, like, damn, that's what we doing? I'm like,
oh. It's kind of like you think of the worst possible act somebody could threaten them with. You know what I'm saying? Because they could stop the money, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And, they ain't gonna send him to jail because they gonna be right there next to him with all the stuff they done did together. You know what I'm saying? So, the only thing you could do is threaten a family member.
But that's just really messed up, though, in period. But the way, but you see how back to when Clay and Unser were talking, Unser was like, okay, well, what if I don't do this? Unser was trying to hold up himself for just a minute. Because Unser looks like he don't want to do this no more. I think he was really happy and relieved that he about to not be chief no more, because he ain't got to do this BS no more. I don't think he really felt like he was cut for this, like this. He didn't think that Sam Crow would be like this. So
it probably wasn't, because now I don't recall exactly how long JT been gone. You know what I'm saying? But, at the beginning of this,
yeah.
But
he had died in the 90s also, because I remember, because because you'll see at some point through the series, his initials and the day of his death is on that rock going down the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, So yeah,
Well, I'm just I'll have to go and
something like that.
I'll have to go and look, but compared to I don't know the exact time frame, but I think if Unser was on the payroll prior to, it was just some light work. You know what I'm saying? And now with JT gone, Clay is making it heavy lift. There's a lot of heavy lifting on Unser's end, and he was probably happy he got cancer because then he could quit. He was like, diagnose me with some more stuff. What else I got? Just, you know what I'm saying? So he could, figure out a way to exit, because most of the time, when you get in too deep with these type of people, you either gonna be with them till you die of old age, or they'll take you out instead. So I'm pretty sure that he was under like, well, I got this, and if I'm not chief no more, they don't need me no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So he died. He was hit by the semi truck November 11th, 93. So he died. So obviously he died November 13th.
So he died 6 months after he wrote. He died 6.
Yep. So that's what is. So yep, that's what it is.
So he died 6 months after he wrote the manuscript.
Yep.
Almost to the day, because that was 3/15/93, and he died November 11/93.
Right. So Jax goes and visits Abel, and him and Tara have a conversation, and we see that him and Tara are getting into each other some more, finally, again, whatever you want to call it. He tells her, happy to have you back, but she ain't slick. You see how she slipped in there? So are you and her together?
No, she was being hella nosy.
You know what? You want him back, just like Gemma said. Gemma got her card and she got Gemma's. That's why they two peas in a pod a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She's
not as ruthless. I don't think in the beginning, I don't think that she's as ruthless as Gemma. But,
not even close.
But she know how to make some things shake, make some moves, and think on her own too. You know what I'm saying? She ain't nobody as bad as Gemma, but she can hold her own.
Definitely,
Sarah can definitely hold her own,
and she does. But you see throughout the series how Gemma ends up rubbing off on her too damn much.
Mm-hmm.
Too damn much.
But you gotta stay ahead. You gotta stay ahead of Gemma. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, just in your everyday life, you live in a normal life, you trying to stay 3 steps ahead. Like, what if this happened? Boom, I got money saved in the bank in case I lose my job, or I got some money in case my car break down. Okay, I got a backup plan in case to get the kids in case I get out, I have to work late. You got all these, trying to stay steps ahead. But with Gemma, you got to be 10 steps ahead.
You got to be 10 steps ahead and be on a whole nother level, because
and be ready for a plot twist.
Ahead, she about to just go this direction anyway, because you never know when Gemma gonna change her course.
Exactly. That's what I said. 10 steps ahead and be prepared for a plot twist.
Yes, because when she finds out you 10 steps ahead, them 10 steps ain't even gonna matter no more, because she about to go that way.
She gonna be hitting you gonna like the lady on the GPS, recalculating.
Yes, exactly. And that's one thing about Gemma. She 10 steps ahead in different directions. You can't just have a narrow track one way with her. You guys to be ready to en route, turn around, do a U-turn.
Yeah, she's a real piece of work.
Yes, she is. It ain't a one way or a 2-way. It's whatever way with Gemma. Whatever way she got to do to save her boys, to save her sons. That's all she care about. So Donna and Opie situation. So Donna gets some papers and looking, and she realizes that, the truck is behind payment and she can't drive the truck. So she tells Opie, look, I got to drive, the car because we behind payments. Now Opie's seeing that, damn, once again, he can't keep afloat. He can't make money the right way, even though that's what he wants to do so bad. And, I commend him for trying, but it ain't going to cut it. Especially, Donna don't realize, I don't think, though, she's used to being taken care of a certain way, obviously. But she don't realize when she was being taken care of, that money was coming from Sam Crow. Now you want him to go out here and earn the same amount of money that he was making with Sam Crow, and it's not going to happen.
And let me tell you why it's not going to happen. First of all, he just got out of jail.
Exactly.
And the town is small.
Exactly.
And this is nothing to say, like, this is before all the, the high tech, this, that, and the third, right? So if you look at his current education level, right? And the time he spent in jail, the tattoos, the whole look, if he could get an office job, he don't fit the right look. You know what I'm saying? And he not finna be Pretty Boy Floyd going to an office job trying to hang at the club on the weekend looking like he the popos. You know what I'm saying? So exactly. And then again, we go back to the being in jail, the educational factor, and but the town itself looks poor.
Mm-hmm.
So how many opportunities are there really to make the kind of money that he was making with Sam Crow? So you have to look at all of these factors like it's impossible.
Yep. And that is why
it's impossible. If I was making, let's just say, because it's a small town, let's say they was making like $100,000 a year, you know what I'm saying, from Sam Crow, where do you think Opie is going to go get a job making $100,000 a year? And then he got to pay taxes on it, so he ain't even really making 100,000. He really making like 70 because Uncle Sam gonna take 30%.
That's right.
And 70 is decent, probably for their, they would be caught up on everything. 70 is decent, but but where is Opie gonna go make a $70,000 job?
Right, exactly. And taking care of her 2 kids. Obviously, you want 2 cars. And Opie's got his motorcycle, so that's that's insurance right there. Mm-hmm. Like, what is this? Right. Like, and your kids
I don't think she's looking at the bigger picture. You can't expect someone, if you just beat into their head, I need you to go out and be legal, but bring home the same amount of money you was bringing. It's not possible. Even if you're in like a major city and you pulling in, $200,000-$300,000 a year because you big time dope gun running or whatever, and your female say, nah, you can't do this no more. In order for him to bring home $200,000-$300,000 a year, he had to be like a lawyer or a doctor or something.
2-3 jobs where he ain't gonna have time for you or your kids.
Look, he will be working 25/8. You heard me?
Yes. And who can do that? Especially
exactly. So it's not possible. It's not possible.
So she's all mad at this. So she goes ahead and she tells him, look, I gotta take the car so she can go to the grocery store and all that stuff. And we see her at the grocery store, and this girl can't even use a check. They told her last 2 checks bounced with them, so she can't even use a check no more. Like her money ain't even good at a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't even get good at a Piggly Wiggly. Like, girl, you need to check yourself real bad and let this man go take care of business. I know you don't want him to go back to jail and all this stuff. And I understand that because she is grieving off of having him been gone for 5 years while she had to take care of 2 kids all by herself and she didn't sign up for that. So I get that. Okay, Donna, I get that. I do. But on the other hand, you got to support your family, girl. And you got to let this man support your family. And if that's the only way he know how, that's going to have to be the way. I mean, you ain't got to like it, but do you want to be taken care of? Do you want to have food? Do you want to be able to go to the grocery store and not have a check bounce or not?
Now, quick question. Now, did we ever find out if the club took care of her while he was locked up? Or she turned down the help?
I'm thinking because of the mindset that she has, she probably distanced herself because she feels that the club set him up. So I think just like Gemma tried to help her and she wanted to be, oh, no, I don't want charity. I figure they probably did try, but she wasn't having it because they felt that, that he was the reason. They was the reason why Opie got locked up, took one for the team.
Right.
So that alone, I believe that's how that happened.
Okay.
And you see how Gemma was just so ready to help her, and when she saw that she couldn't pay for it in the beginning anyway. So yeah, that's what they're all about. Because like she said, the club is family. We always go look out. So I believe because of that, that's why she never did. And that's why she was so hesitant to do it right then and there in front of Gemma's face. Because she didn't want the charity. She didn't want no bad blood. She didn't want that on her conscience. Like, y'all gonna put my man in jail for y'all while y'all living a high life getting this money. And y'all just expect me to be, can I have anything that I need? Like, can I get some help here? No. That's not how it goes.
I think that's law. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we see it in like, if he went and he did 5 years and he never said nothing to nobody, it's law. You know what I'm saying? That they should have took care of his family.
Right. And the thing is, I think deep down, I feel Opie knew and felt it too. Because now if we fast forward ahead, you see Opie and Clay have a discussion.
I was just going to say, to piggyback off of her feeling some type of way, he would show feeling some type of way.
And Clay's been trying to see where Opie's head has been for a long time. That's why he's been so adamant about Jax getting him to come back to the club. And and the thing is, he's always still been a part of the club because obviously he's got his tattoos. He still had his cut, but I guess he just had to do the family thing for a minute, trying to be right. But he said he would always be there for the club when he needed him, and now they needed him. But the point is, Clay been trying to see where Opie has stood for a while because obviously Clay has a guilty conscience. So obviously it's true that whatever happened with Opie going to jail, it must be true because Clay definitely has a little bit of a conscience here when it comes to Opie. So he asked Opie straight up, like, Donna feels that you have, has resentment and everything. And he asked, like, do you have resentment? Do you feel some type of way? And the way Opie responded, first he paused, then he responded, no. But that's bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit.
But he knew what to say in the right time.
Exactly. He ain't stupid. That's one thing he is not. And plus, he know that he's back at the club. He know he needs this money. It's going to be only a matter of time before Clay is no longer president. He got to step down anyway because he's becoming an old man.
His hands is messed up. Probably can't even shoot right no more.
All of that stuff. So it's just like he just holding on, and he know Jack's gonna take it as soon as possible. Who else would? So I think he's trying to just get through it the best he can. And plus, money talks. So you go get this money. I'm gonna shut up. I already took that L for the club anyway. If I'm gonna go that far, I might as well continue. Because if he wasn't gonna continue, he could just sold on the club. But then that he would be, he would have met Mr. Mayhem. But still, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was taken care of in jail by Darby's people, which was crazy, the North. So, but whatever. It is what it is.
Well, you know what? what they say, different devils bring different devils, but sometimes you got to deal with different devils. You know what I'm saying? You deal with the devil you know, or the devil who has the most power in that position to make sure your boy is straight.
And that devil in both cases is Clay.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it is Clay. Period. So then they have a meeting, and they're all at the table, and they're discussing how to handle everything, especially, you know, finding out that Darby is working with Alvarez because, oh yeah, we see Darby and Alvarez meeting up, having a discussion. So now we see that they trying to have the Sons, you know, on the outs. You know,
Right.
they don't want Sam Crow. They want Sam Crow at the bottom of this, trying to take over. And Darby wants Charming, period, anyway. And working with Alvarez and the Mayans, that kind of helps him out. So him and Alvarez are talking, and they both trying to see how they can get what they want. And Alvarez was like, look, I can make this happen. Don't worry about it. We both going to be happy at the end, and it's going to be gravy. But during this meeting, some way, somehow, and I don't even know how they did it, but Sam Crow got a hold of Darby's truck. And they don't show that part, but I'm like, wait a minute, how they get a hold of this man's truck like that? I'm sure Juice probably hot-wired it, because that's what Juice do. But, so yeah.
Because if anything comes back, they're going to say it was his truck, and he going to get in trouble.
Exactly. So they planned. So when they had church at the table, they had that plan. And that's when Jack's hat came out. He was like, look, we can do this away without spilling, you know, any blood. There don't got to be no bloodshed, which is what he's been trying to do. Obviously, Clay don't care at all about spilling blood or not. We clearly saw that just from the pilot episode.
Right.
So Clay is clearly about that life right now. And I don't know if he's trying to bring on so much more because he knows Jax is trying to follow in JT footsteps, but he's really putting it on hard. And plus, of course, Gemma in his ear saying, you got to nail it down hard, do this, that, and the third. So anyway, so that's where they got the two bodies from Skeeter. And they take those bodies and looks like they run over one with their face, which was so nasty. Like, oh my God, why did they show that?
Girl, they did the same thing in House of the Dragon. Like, I've never seen somebody's face get beat in or beat off their face.
See, I gotta catch up. I'm a couple episodes behind. I'm gonna catch up this Friday.
Girl, but go ahead.
So then they take the body that Half Sack had dug up, and they put him in the driver's seat, take some fake blood, put it all over him, and they shoot up the truck. So now that's about to come back on Darby. And now they got one over on Darby. So Darby better watch himself. Because like, you don't mess with the Sons. And I don't even know why he even tried to do that. And that's where he messed up.
But you know what I noticed this time that I'm watching it back? All these racial slurs. I missed this the first time. Well, it was a year and something ago, and I've drank heavily and slept since then. But I was just like, did they say this the first time? Is this a voiceover? Is this new? Like, where all this come from?
Yes, that's like, oh my gosh. That was the one thing that I don't like about the show is all the racial slurs. But
it's
that's
true.
It is in real life. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's how it really is. I mean, yeah, you want to be politically correct when you're doing the show, but that's not how Kurt Sutter rolls. He wanted to make this come to life as much as possible. And that's how people really talk. Especially, Darby is a racist. So that's how a racist talks.
Yeah, I felt like it was very authentic. It just was tripping me out because I was like, did I see this?
Yes, exactly.
I was confused.
Yes, like every time I'm like, oh my Lord, yes, here we go. But Darby is a racist, and that's how a racist talk. Period. You can't really do nothing about that. Then that boy's face looks like ground beef. I too have never seen a face like that. We said ground beef. Damn.
I don't know if she's talking about the dude in this one or the one in House of the Dragon. Because,
I'm thinking she probably talking about House of the Dragons.
woo, child, that was a beat down.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So, so yeah, we talked about the Crow Eater finally coming to be a whore for Jax. We kept that. Sigurd up the body, Tara and Gemma. Oh yeah, so now Tara and Gemma have another discussion. And this is like where you see they is like head to head. So Tara has figured out, can't prove it, but she knows that Gemma is the one who gave Wendy that shot for her to overdose on. Now, Wendy is now, recovering and whatnot. And so she's up here threatening Gemma. She's
and
like,
then Gemma was like, why? Did she say something? You telling on yourself.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Then she's like, no, she's in a sedated coma. But I'd have been like, but I mean, if you think about it, first of all, process of elimination, not that many people was coming to see Wendy. You know what I'm saying? And, when they brought her into the hospital, I'm sure they was in the emergency room before they brought her up to labor delivery, whatever took place, right? So they just stripped her of everything she had. So she didn't bring it herself.
Right. And we know that Jax and what Jax's frame of mind was, and she's been talking with Jax, so she Jax ain't gonna do nothing like that. Jax ain't ruthless like that. Well, at least not yet, because we see what happened later on. I forgot about that flashback of that. Woo! This show is gonna get us there by season 5. It's gonna be a lot. But anyways, so yeah, like you said, the process of elimination. She only had 2 visitors. Besides Tara coming in to check on her, the doctors or whatnot. So it had to be Jax or Tara. I mean, Jax or Gemma. We know it ain't Jax.
Right, because I can't see her begging the nurse, be like, hey, when you take your break, can you meet my dealer across the street and bring me some drugs?
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Because we already know that, if she gets caught with anything, she just had Jax flush all of the shit out of the house. So she wouldn't be charged with neglect. And I think that's why Gemma was so mad, because she got off of that. She got off of that, and she's like, you know what? I got to do something better.
But it was how she did it was stank to me, because, Jax wasn't going to go do it. He was like, whatever happened. He was in a mind frame of whatever happens to you, happens to you. But if a lot of people know the law, like whatever's in your car, regardless of who it belongs to, unless that person step up, it's yours. Whatever is in your house, unless the true owner of whatever it is steps up, it is yours.
Yes. Point blank. So, and that's why it's just so messed up. Like, in the hospital, like
everybody's so manipulative. Like, excuse my language. How you on your deathbed being manipulative?
Girl. Right. Exactly.
You about died, the baby about died, he finna struggle for life, and you still being manipulative.
It's just messed up. So now it's just the fact that so now Tara knows, and she was like, I can't prove it, but how about I just bounce this theory off of Jax and see what he says? And she knows that Jax is Gemma's weakness. She knows exactly what she was
pushing buttons.
That to her, and we all know if Jax was to think about that, he just may entertain it. And plus, if she throw a little something at him, and because he want her anyway, and they don't have their time in the past, like she knows what she's doing. She remembers how she had to do Gemma back in the day, so it's like all coming back to Tara, like it never left her. Like, you could take the girl out of Charmin, but you can't take Charmin out the girl.
And you know what? Also, I think about the whole Tara Gemma dynamic. I think Gemma has this, obsession with her son. Like nobody's gonna be
Oh,
good enough. And so, and I also see that Gemma honestly believes that Tara could be as ruthless and calculated and manipulative as she is. And how dare somebody like me, built like me, wired like me, want to take my son away from me.
right. And that's basically all she really has left. Her
Mm-hmm.
son.
And her birds.
And that's all she cares about, period. She just wants this legacy to continue in her way. And just like Tara said, you think the world revolves around Gemma and you're untouchable. She was like, no one is untouchable. And that's when Gemma got in her face like, is that what you want to do? You want to touch me? Got all up in her ear, like got close enough to make her ear just moist from the hotness of her breath.
I know. I would have been like, see, somebody would have got hit. All in my personal space.
Sarah was trying to keep her job, baby. She like, you ain't gonna do me.
I'd have been like, meet me in the stairwell, ho. Stairwell 9, because ain't no cameras over there. That's where folks will be smoking at. Come on.
Well, she might have been scared because you never know. Gemma would have came and just injected her with something. She would have been overdosing like.
I work in a hospital. I'm a doctor. I got injectable stuff too.
Girl, and that's the whole thing. Like these two is like watching two women fight over a man, except one is the mama.
It's weird.
It's very weird. Like, get some help for that, Gemma. You need some help, honey. Period. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm like, Lord, like you really, you have mama issues, you got son issues. And I don't even know how to differentiate that because it's given very messed up vibes.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm like with the time frame of when JT died and when she started clinging on to Jax like that, and the brother, her other son has already passed on. You know what I'm saying? So was it right after JT died that you started clinging on to him like that? Because it's got to be something. Because if I don't think you was clinging on to him like that before these two particular incidences took place.
Right. That's what I think. Because Thomas passed before JT died. So she lost that one. And now she's, that loss. So she had 2 losses. So all she's got left is Jack. So I'm sure she probably clinged on a little bit when Thomas died because he just had one son. But then when
they murdered JT,
that's all she had left was Jax. That's all there's left.
Well, she calls that one herself.
Period.
She was sneaky linking and stuff.
Exactly.
She can't be mad at nobody but herself.
Period. So then we see when Gemma did go see to the grocery store, she gave Donna the groceries. Donna didn't want to take them, but she did. But she was like, look, we're not the enemy. And, she's having a little get together. Why don't you come over? And she extended her the invitation. She said, I'm really getting tired of this Martha Stewart shit.
Right.
Trying to be.
I love that line. Talking about my Martha Stewart is wearing real thin. I feel you, girl.
No, that's right.
Like some days at work, my Ashley be wearing real thin. When I be at work, Ashley be like, is it 5 o'clock yet? Because we ready to go.
Right. Period. So then she just gave her groceries and she left. And you can see the close-up that they put in on Donna. Like, she's like, you know what? I feel like I just need to give in because how am I going to win, first of all? This woman just gave me groceries, and damn it, I do need these groceries. And these groceries is coming from the same place where my husband once provided for us at, and we were doing very well. So it's like she's at a point where she's struggling. Like, okay, I don't want my son to do this, but what else are we going to do anyway? So I feel at this point, she's starting to feel like, damn it, okay, I might as well just give in
I
because,
mean, yeah, because you try to live and go by the book for so long, but then you struggling and there's other options. And for Donna, honestly, I think she had some help from her family, but it's like you not going to jail. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's how I'm looking at it. Like, yeah, let him go do his thing. You even go to work too, put a bail fund together. You know what I'm saying? Something.
Yeah.
But, at worst case scenario, not worst case, at the end of the day, that's the word I need, the sentence. You got to feed your kids. You got to keep the lights on. Even if you do the bare necessities, sometimes you do need help.
Yes. And I think while Opie was locked up, Piney did what he could because you remember when he saw when Donna told him that they were behind, Opie went to Piney.
Right.
Opie went straight to Piney. And Piney was like, I can't give you no more. Like, I
He said
can't
he
help
just
you.
did something. I think he said he just paid something, or he was
Yeah.
like, I just
He
took
was
care of
like,
some things or something. And that's when he told him to go ask Clay.
yeah, that's when he was like, quit your whining, put your big boy pants on, and take care of your business. And then that's when he told him to do that protection run with Clay. Yep. And then there you go again to piggyback off of that, because when he actually did show up to do that run with Clay, and look how it went. That was
Right.
not how that was supposed to go. It was
Yeah.
just supposed to make sure the shipment went right in order, and that was it. He wasn't supposed to, go off the hinge, kidnap somebody, kidnap the merchandise, kidnap the truck, and take them to Jimmy, whoever Jimmy was, and them that other gang gang or whatever. So and he
Everything Clay touches
like,
is bad.
yes, and he was like, so, how was this supposed to go? This isn't what's right. And so Clay gonna lie. And Clay's just a liar. And he was just like, oh, I got a call right before. And so now this is what's about to happen now. So he knew what he was gonna do at the
The whole
beginning
time.
the whole time. This is what he had in his mind. And I see he took, as a president, I see his angle though, because he took charge, because for him doing that, he made sure that he got more time to get it together so he can still be a distributor to them for the guns.
And
So
I
he's
get that.
looking out for the club, but he's doing by any means necessary.
Look, Clay is like that one cousin, and every time you go somewhere with them, or every time they got an idea, your first thought is, dude, we gonna end up in jail.
Exactly.
Like no, like come on, let's go make this quick little dollar. You ain't gotta do nothing. You just gotta drive the car. We going to jail. Like Clay is that one person. Like every time he has an idea, every time he's trying to mess this person over to please this person, somebody end up dead or going to jail.
Exactly. And and it ain't gonna be him, obviously, because he
Not
gonna
for
get
a
out of
few
it
more
one way or
seasons.
the other. And
Not
then
for a
it
few more
be
seasons.
Opie again. And I feel like Opie is like his sacrificial lamb, if you will.
I mean, we always, that goes back to the education. We always have on these shows, there's what they call a lackey or a flunky or the scapegoat or whatever. All these little groups have like, it's your job to go to jail and shut up and don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just like Otto.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole thing right there. Yeah. So, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, you're trying to do what you can for the club, which is what's understandable. That's what a president is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a way of going about it,
Right.
and clearly it's not JT's way. And that's what makes me so mad. Like, you kill this man, and then you totally go against what he wanted. It's just like a slap in the face. I can see if you just wanted to run in and be the man on top, but you killed this man basically because he was like damn near your enemy to the same club that y'all was both a part of. Not switching the club that JT had started. Damn it. Because even though Clay is an original first nine, he's not a co-founder.
Right.
JT is.
See, Clay don't know the rules. First of all, rule number one is don't get caught.
Want to follow them.
No, first of all, rule number one, don't get caught. Rule number two, make sure your crew get home safely. He don't be paying. His rule number one is how much money am I going to get? Rule number two, who do I got to sacrifice to get to the money? Everything with him is money.
And what I got to do to make sure it ain't me.
Right.
That's what it is all about.
Well, see, if you follow rule number one, don't get caught, nobody gets caught.
Exactly. And if you follow rule number one, that means your crew got home safely because nobody got caught. It all rolls back to rule number one.
Don't get caught slipping by the ops and don't get caught by the popos.
Right. Point blank, period. But we all know Clay, he always gotta do something different.
Boy, he be pushing that envelope so far to the edge of the table, boy. He be pushing.
It's about to fall off. It's like, it's just tipping.
Right.
It's tipping.
It's like more than the envelope is like more than halfway off. Is linked, and it just need one little gust of wind, and it's on the floor.
It's holding on by the grace of wind from one side. It's just like
right.
And he is the devil. He's the devil and the sinner. It's just there's no middleman. He is the devil and he is the sinner. Period.
He's a demon.
There's no middle with him. And that is why it's just, I just, knowing how, the series goes the rest of the way and everything, it's just, Karma's a bitch. Karma is definitely a bitch.
Well, you know what I say.
And Death is her twin sister. They say Death is her cousin. No, Death is her twin sister.
Well, you know what I say. God don't like ugly, and he ain't too fond of the pretty.
Period. And that's on period. Okay. So at the end of this episode, we see Gemma and Luann are preparing dinner for the family. The family's coming through. The club and their family, extended family, whatever, all coming to the club to break bread. They had a good run. Everything's about to go good. So, they always celebrate when, a good thing's happen or a milestone happens or something that they worked so hard for, they finally got over or whatever. Mm-hmm. So this is with the dinner that she invited Donna, Opie, and the kids to. So you see the scenes breaking up, going back and forth between at Gemma and Clay's house and Donna and Opie sitting at their table at home looking
that dinner was dry.
Sad. Now that was a sad look. You see her totally disengaged, thinking about everything that's going on. And you see him thinking about everything that's going on, but from a different perspective. They both in their head thinking about what they need to do, but they're not doing it together. She's thinking of it in a whole new way, other way than he is. He like, okay, I'm going to just have to put on this cut and go back to work at the club. And in her head, I think she's thinking, okay, I'm going to just have to shut up and let this man do what he got to do to take care of me, because obviously I can't, because I can't even buy groceries at Piggly Wiggly no more.
Right. But I really wished, because if memory serves, they never really had that type of conversation. And I really wish they would have had that type of conversation so they could have been on the same page. So for her, she wouldn't always be so angry, and Opie wouldn't feel like he was sneaking. Because remember, he was like trying to sneak for a while, and then he just said, screw it, this is what I'm doing.
Right. Well, I don't even think he was necessarily sneaking, because when she came in, the pilot episode, And he
Right.
saw her, and she saw him with his backpack. You know, she knows what it is. He knows she know what it is. He just didn't want to, I best basically verbally put it out there because then it's real. You know, don't ask, don't tell. You know what I'm about to do.
Yeah, but don't have Jax coming over like y'all finna go down to the pool hall knowing that y'all finna go do some dirt.
And Jax thought he was slick by parking down the road. Like, that did not help. Like,
No.
I don't know why he thought that was going to help. But I guess he didn't expect him to be having a lover's quarrel in the garage either, rolling up with the two kids. And I felt so bad. The two kids saw that. And so now the kids know something is off and not right.
Right.
So you see your parents arguing in the garage. That ain't fun. That's not cute. That's not a happy moment for no children. So it's all those aspects, you know, and that's what makes it hard. So I understand her and understand him. You know, she just want to look out for Opie because she know that the club did him dirty. So why would you want to go back to the club that did you dirty? That could potentially get you right back in the spot where I gotta be a single mother for another 5 years
or longer.
That because it's about to be your second offense or whatever. So it's just like, why would you put me and jeopardize me? So it's kind of like, you know, me or the club, your family or the club. You know, I know the club, your family, but you can't live a double life. Because that's kind of what he was doing.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it from her. He was living a double life. Even
Most definitely.
Knew, but he was living a double life, basically. And he's tired of that. And she knows that that other life that he has, you know, takes care of this other life that she's in. So it's like, at some point, she's got to understand, like, fuck you got me. Go ahead. Do what you got to do.
Right.
I need to be able to go to the store and not have a check bounce no more. Because that's humiliating. I need to not have Gemma coming up to me feeling like I'm charity. And
right.
You know,
I need to not have to lock my car in a storage unit so that they don't come repossess it.
Right. All of that stuff. And Donna is not a fancy person. You know, you see her in some sweatpants and a oversized t-shirt that look like it's Opie's. You know, she ain't about going to get her hair done, makeup, flashy, nails done, none of that. She is just trying to be a mom and stay afloat and take care of her kids and not have her husband back in jail.
But that also shows too how bad they're doing, because I don't remember if we ever got to see the second car, but if my memory serves me correctly, it wasn't nothing fancy.
No, it was never nothing fancy, I don't think. No, because none of them are really at that fancy moment yet in the series, because they just, you know, really getting out there. And plus, you know,
except for Gemma.
Obviously, if she can't afford groceries, they ain't driving nothing fancy.
Right. So, but I mean, but Gemma is the only one I think who's lightweight obsessed with things.
Oh, yes, definitely. Obviously, you know, Gemma keeps the hair dye with the streaks, the lipstick, the nice clothes. Like, she's always been the one to trying to look good. She's the matriarch. She puts herself on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So of course she gotta look good. You know, so period. And that's just how she rolls. So yeah, she is the only one that's like that. But Luann seems like she's like that too, because you see Luann, she's got, you know, even though she dresses like in a skimpy way, but she's got the makeup, she's got the nails done, you know, the hair put up or whatever. I think Gemma and Luann, I think the old ladies are more upkept like that. But they
plus Luann making bank
longer, so they got more money.
Right. Plus Luann's making bank too.
Exactly. So that's the only way that works, period. So that's basically it to me, I think. JT and Piney started the club, and no, Clay doesn't know the rules really. No, because he didn't start this, and that's why.
That's why we got met.
But he don't know nothing.
You remember how his face was looking when it said brains before bullet, when Jax was like brains before bullets or something like that.
Yeah, he's been looking funny she looked funny at Jax this whole entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
And last episode, once he found out about the about JT's journal being read. And that was another thing I don't think we got to when Gemma was rolling around. First of all, did she even knock on Jackson's door before she barged in?
I don't think so.
All you see is her just coming through the door. No knocking, no nothing. I'm like, dang, what if he was...
I ain't knocking on my son, a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Look, I mean, I'm not gonna not knock. You know what I'm saying is what I'm trying to say. Because I got a thing, like, once my son turned, like, 13 or 14, I'm knocking before I'm entering.
Exactly.
And he grown.
What he got on his body covered or not. Like, nope. You can have some privacy, but you know,
he could have been in there with a woman or several women. He could have been in there, you know, getting his time.
In there with Sarah. Who knows?
He could have been in there, you know, what was that risky business? He could have been dancing in his drawers or something. I ain't trying to see that.
You don't know what he doing. So yeah, but then when she gets in there, you see how noticed she was. Oh, so
yeah,
you
going through everything.
You said that you were reading something. She sees JT's box on the bed, trying to like she going through just a little bit, trying to see what she could find. But she was trying to be so slick. But he told her, "Oh, just reading a couple of entries." I think already at this point he's starting to see something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he could have went into a lot more detail, like he did in the pilot, asking her questions. But he didn't ask her nothing about what he has previously read now, like he did in the pilot. So I think he's kind of probably seeing something like, okay, maybe just my mom ain't the one I need to be talking about this or discussing with this. So, I just read a couple of entries, you know, made it sound like it wasn't a big deal. But I think
he's playing the role. He definitely playing the role.
Yeah, he knows better. And I think he sees it from Clay too. And of course, Clay, goes home to Gemma. So it's like they together. So he might be on the outs with them. So let me not say too much no more. Let me just read this and be on my own and do my own thing.
And figure it out.
Which was the best thing for him, because a lot more could have happened sooner had he not done that. Had he not done that. Okay, did we miss anything? I think
we hit everything.
I think we hit it all. Have a meeting. Yup. But so now next week we're gonna see the aftermath of what happens. After Darby is probably about to find out about his truck. And we'll see if Donna and Opie ever show up. And we just got a lot more to look forward to for episode 3. Yes.
I'm excited.
I love that this show doesn't wait to get into the its and the grits of all of the drama and stuff like that. Oh, but can't we just talk about that gruesome part where Jax had to whoop that dude's ass in the store when he cut him off the highway and he found
that was ridiculous.
Man, he just beat his ass real good, but then
he started shooting, and then the store clerk then came with an axe.
Right in that man head, killed him and put an axe right in his head. Like, what? I said, come on now. What am I watching? I remember the first time I saw that.
But I'm sure there's gonna be some blowback on that.
Man, of course. But I'm like, oh my goodness, this is what we're doing? This is what Sons of Anarchy does? Yes, that is what Kurt Sutter does. But yes, y'all. So that it will conclude it for Seeds, season 1, episode 2. The episode name was Seeds. Make sure y'all watch episode 3 so y'all can be here next Monday night so we can discuss all of the craziness that happens in episode 3, and y'all know it is coming. Because pretty soon,
and then once that plane take off, it keeps riding and coasting all the way down for the rest of the seasons.
It don't stop. It don't stop. It goes, honey. Okay, well, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. Gemma is the queen. Queen B.
Hey.
Queen B. Yes, she's queen. But she is definitely a queen bee. That she will not let nobody forget it. Not even Tara. Okay? Not even Tara. But okay, y'all, that's going to conclude for this episode here. We will see y'all next Monday, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock Central. We'll see y'all. Bye. Thanks for watching. We out this nasty thing.